What's up, Larry, baby? Listen, this is just a little remix to remind you that you are still the shiznit. So don't even worry about Daryl Moore the Bomb and his B-Team minions, because you had a purpose before they even had an opinion. You still got much love out here, and you are still winning. So let those haters hate, and let those trolls troll. Wow. They are just mad because they will never ever rise to your level. Y'all haters ain't on his 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 level. You ain't on his level. Here we go. We're gonna start with Daryl Moore. You ain't on his level. And I'll say your name, cause from the pits of the hell you came. You's a dirty old man. You came up with a lame ass plan. You tried to take Larry down, with a proof that was unfound. Shame on you. Find something else better to do. Cause that same ditch that you dig in is the same ditch your ass gonna fall in. You recruited El Cart, and his dumb ass ain't no smart. And as a matter of fact, I think you want Larry's feet in your crack. Marcellus, looking like Hannibal Buress. You're always making threats, but ain't never done a damn thing yet. Ain't you that gutter snake who made fun of Larry's rape? You'll say it ain't so, but when we saw you on a video, shut the hell up and sip your tea, because a badass you'll never be. All you do is talk shit with that lame ass 18 clip. And now we got big little Kim, who really just wants to sit in. I won't go in on you, sis, but you're so much better than this. And Roxanne, Daryl don't want to be your man. He is just using you because he needs a clicking of you. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Black Mr. Clean. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Whoever the hell y'all be, you ain't on his level. Y'all the biggest haters I ever seen. Y'all niggas ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. You ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. You ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. Y'all haters ain't on his level. You will never be on his level. Hey, you ain't on his level. You tried it though. Gotta give you an A for effort, but you really gotta E for epic failure. Don't go cry in the car.
What's going on, Conscious Crew? It is your favorite breakdown commentator, CTV. Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. You guys see what we're here to get into. I have no idea what to expect, but I am hoping for a great dialogue as what was had on yesterday, which I was so impressed by. I had to give everybody their props. I had to give King Jives his props. I had to give Knockout Media his props. I had to give Breaking the Culture her props, because I felt like for the first time in a long time, everybody was able to have a difficult conversation civilly, which I know takes so much guts. It takes so much humility. It takes so much patience. It takes so much emotional intelligence. It takes trust. It just requires so much to have difficult conversations well. And what I mean by difficult conversations is conversations where people have the guts to really say what they feel they need to say, even if that may result in injury, even if it may result in it not feeling supportive to the other party, and yet be able to have a posture of hearing each other and just speaking to each other's experience and perspective with compassion and maturity, and me knowing how King Jives gives it up, and me knowing how Knockout Media gives it up, and me knowing how Breaking Them Up for Cultural Silence gives it up, baby, to see all these people just come so far in dialogue. I mean, you guys have no idea how impressed I was, because at this point in my own growth, I am past people having to agree with one another's experience. I don't think that's an excuse, though, to act a fool just because we don't necessarily agree. And I would just love to see more of that be able to be had. Conversations can still be passionate. Conversations can still be have an emotional tone, but also just having a lot of rationale, a lot of logic. It's everything. And I really just live for what transpired yesterday, because it just exemplified maturity on all levels. So we're here to get into those things. Knockout is here. MsMikko is here. King Jives to be joining us. It's no telling if we're going to have other special guests. I don't know. But we're going to get into some things. Go ahead and thumbs up this video until it is absolutely stuck. You guys know that thumbing up not only helps with YouTube's algorithm, but more importantly, it triggers up YouTube's notification system. So when you are thumbing up the video, you are literally knocking on the digital door of another Conscious crew member and telling them to get their asses into the goddamn sanctuary, because the king is in fact king. And also make sure, shout out to all the new subbies, honey. Also, make sure that you guys have your notification bell set to all, because you never know what day or hour the king shall be kinging. And last but not least, please share the out of this live stream to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be your YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your Instagram, your Facebook, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you lay the link. Just let them whores know that we're allowed live and in calling. But no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through. Oh,
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
all right, what's going on, you guys? Okay, so before we get into the thick of this, I just want to kind of lay out for everybody who don't know what the hell is going on. Hey Callie, hey Rumors and Tea, hey Sin, hey Francesca, what's going on? That Pot, what's going on? What's going on, my classy queen? Hey Boo, hey all y'all, everybody thumbs up. Okay, so yesterday, you guys know I gave an epic update regarding media mogul Larry Reid Live's lawsuit against a wannabe internet stalker and bully who he sued back in 2021. I believe this led to a settlement agreement where the defendant agreed to just shut the hell up infinitely, permanently, eternally, okay? Refrain from alluding to, speaking directly about, giving any level of commentary about the plaintiff in this case. All right, well, the defendant has not been able to hold his mule. He's ended up in contempt 2 times already, and having to force the courts to reinforce the settlement agreement for the 4th time. Well, over the last few months, because of certain online commentary, the defendant felt emboldened and vindicated and thought that he had a permission slip to jump outside. As a result, his ass might end up in jail. So the federal courts of Ohio scheduled a in-person hearing for the first time in 3.5 years to deal with these contempt charges. This has resulted in the defendant being shooketh and scared, because in the recent orders from the courts, they also requested not only financial sanctions and penalties against the defendant for those violations, but also are considering detaining his ass for 30 days, honey. So the stakes are very high in this case. He's actually in double contempt, because not only has he breached the settlement agreement for the third time. He also completely disobeyed the court's orders on 3 different occasions as it relates to having his supporters personally email the judge's chambers in support of him, which was not necessary because this is not a criminal case. This is not the O.J. Simpson trial, and it's also just inappropriate and unlawful to email the judge's chambers. There is a court system and court fees that have to be submitted accordingly. And this defendant disregarded all of that, girl, and continued to try to go the free 99 route in order to respond, etc. And as a result of him being disobedient, as a result of him being a heathen, his ass now has to deal with separate contempt charges as it relates to unlawfully emailing the judge's chambers and having his online supporters do so as well. Well, as of yesterday, which was the 3rd attempt at an in-person hearing, because the defendant used everything under the sun to get out of having to physically show up to the courts. Everything from going to urgent care, to being hospitalized, to submitting medical records, to saying his dog died, he's going bald. I mean, every excuse under the damn sun. Well, that in-person hearing was inevitable nonetheless, but baby, the defendant had one last trick up his sleeve, baby. And 1 minute and 30 seconds into my commentary as a star witness in this case, along with the exhibits plastered on the screen in court, the defendant had an alleged heart attack and halted the legal proceedings of Wednesday morning, baby. EMT had to roll through, put this nigga on a gurney and a cot, and helicopter his ass to a local hospital, honey. And it was just a hot mess. Well, the hearing has now been rescheduled, and with or without the plaintiff's consent, there will be judgments, and this case will be adjourned accordingly. All right. As a result of me giving an update, media influencer, social media influencer, and friend King Jives pulled up. He had some things he wanted to say about the defendant because he also has been a victim of the defendant as a result of providing his feedback and his commentary, where he kind of went into, you know, the origin story of it all. There has been another influencer and friend of mine named Knockout Media who also joined the discussion and wanted to have a 1-2 with King Jives, which despite them disagreeing about some things, I felt still went really well. Okay. Well, King Jives then, after having a great time here, did pretty much an after party on his own platform and had a panel that featured Darius, who's one of the 4 kings. It also featured my boo and moderator Cynthia, who joined the panel, and it of course featured MsMikko's, King Jives' sister, social media influencer, entrepreneur, and beautician. All right, self-made bitch, period. Okay, and there was a discussion about and a review of what had happened earlier in the panel. Okay, MsMikko had expressed that she was interested in having a conversation with Knockout because she believes that there's some tension there that needs to be spoken to. And Knockout Media also had listened to King Jives' feedback about the exchange and had some thoughts as well. Because my platform is known as a neutral space where everybody comes to galvanize and do the Iyanla thing and come to express themselves, etc. You know, I'm always the creator of life, girl. You know, we always bring it all in here. So it was agreed that tonight opinions would be expressed here in a safe space, in a neutral space, and people would come together in the spirit of just, once again, talking, just like we did on yesterday. You don't have to agree, don't even have to like what each other has to say, but just being compassionate enough to listen to one another and to figure out what can be done about what's left after that. It's really all that any of us can really ask for. So I'm going to shut the hell up. And I'm going to let Knockout up and let him speak his feelings about King Jives show. MsMikko is here as well. I will be bringing her up. And for the most part, I'm going to do what I did yesterday, which is kind of stay to the background. I will speak when spoken to, and I will speak honestly when I go to respond. Just as a disclaimer, I'm going to speak when spoken to, unless I absolutely need the emergency get involved. But I'm going to speak when spoken to, and when I'm spoken to, I'm going to speak honestly. Okay? So let's go ahead and give a warm... Oh, before we do that, I want to drop the link for Cynthia first, because I think it's just important to use this as just a teachable moment. So you guys will see where I'm going with this. Sin, my moderator, can you please hit the link? This won't even take long, because I didn't get to finish listening to the panel until this morning. And that was after me and Sin had spoken. So, and I don't want to speak at Miss Sin, etc., when we have access to each other. So I'm gonna bring her up if you have the time, Miss Sin. And while we're waiting on Miss Sin, boo, let's get these likes up, honey. If you're new here, subscribe. We do it all. I have gotten my spirit back about being a content creator. I feel really great about being back in the space. You guys know I had to take a hiatus, girl. I had to go do some adulting. I had to go open up some Airbnbs and just, continue on in my wealth building, bitch. Because, I got shit to do, bitch, okay? It's a comma behind my name, baby. Everything from social media extraordinaire to business owner, honey. Okay, I'm in the spirit of having a whole entire empire, baby, and having infinite multiple streams of income, bitch, period. All right, here's Sin here. Hey, Sin.
Hey, good evening. Good evening, Conscious crew, everybody. What's going on?
Hi, I'm glad you're
Summoned
here.
in the room, and when I'm summoned, that means some
Yes.
may be hitting the fan. So
yes, well, I didn't want to. I just felt it didn't make anything more than make sense, than to have you obviously a part of this conversation. You was here on yesterday from my stream, and then of course you had joined King Jives stream as well. And there was something that you had particularly noted that I was like, you know what? I think this can be a teachable moment. There was a part in the dialogue where Larry's name came up, and you spoke about being in a place in your life where you could have used some support and used some help, and you had given me and King Jives our roses for supporting you, or whether it was in the competition that you were in, where we both was making sure that we, was rooting for you and getting everybody to participate in voting for you, etc., etc. And King Jives had said, and did Larry do anything? And you said, no, he didn't do anything for me. And you had also went into a commentary about how you was even willing to be a virtual assistant for him and make yourself available to be of service to him professionally, etc. And he never followed you up and made space for you. Did you kind of want to speak to that a little bit before I go into the rest of my commentary about that?
right. Well, what I was saying is we were having a discussion about Jives was talking about how people that he helped put on and get their platform numbers growing ran over to Larry to think that that they would get something, more than what he was offering or what he was trying to help them with. And all I said was that, I had been to the Reformation Church services twice when they had him in Atlanta. The first 2 years, Larry invited me to his live taping in 2018. And I know that he does listen to you because he would reference you in things and in IG at night, if he's just, getting on to talk with us or whatever. So it wasn't like I'm not I mean, I'm unknown in terms of this social media space because I don't have platforms like you guys, but I do support all of you and listen and moderate not only here but also in King Jives space as of yesterday. And the thing is, I was in the Fab Over 40 contest back in October, November, December, and all the platforms rallied to get their people to vote. I know that Larry listens to you guys amongst other people, whether he admits it or not, or and that's his business or whatever. But I just didn't know if he did or if he didn't. So from my perspective, no, he didn't support. I was willing to be. I know one while he was looking for a virtual assistant or whatever. And I was like, hey, and what I was going through in terms of being unemployed straight for 10 months and underemployed for the last 2, that I have great admin skills. I'm not just a level 1 trauma trained ER nurse that could not get a job in not one hospital here in the Atlanta area, and that has recently changed, praise God.
Amen.
But after 27 years of nursing anyway. But I was just saying that there was no support, because if he listens to you and he knew how you were riding for me, even against Storm Monroe's mom, who was also in said contest, that he would at least reach out like, hey, I know Cynthia. I've met her before. She's come to the Reformation stuff twice. Tell her to get at me. But, I didn't hear nothing. But I don't expect people to do anymore. That's part of the reason why my life had unfolded the way that it did, because too much giving people the benefit of the doubt to be who, to be good to you or wanting to help. The days of helping people just so you can see them blessed and come up seemingly are over. Everybody wants to monetize whatever their giftings are, which that's your business, that's your right to do so. Get your paper by all means, boo-boos. But by the same token, know those that are struggling, that out of the 10, one will come back. And I'm always that one that will come back and put something in your hand. Thank you for remembering me or thinking about me in my time of need. There was no reach out. So we got to be careful of who we put on and who we idolize in these platforms, because they're all of you guys are doing great work. But let's not forget that, I'm not saying to live a life of total benevolence where we end up poor, because the worst thing you can do for a poor person is become one of them. Trust me, I know. But also remember that there are some people that still have good hearts that may have just had in transition or in a situation that really could use the help and would really do what they say they do, it, which is going to donate and or come back. Because even, hey, the 10 chicks were blessed by the Lord, but only one came back to say thank you and to show benevolence. And I think we're forgetting that as a people, because I was, as you were summoning me, I was over there at Jive Space. They're having a very candid discussion about what happened with Trump today. And what does that mean for the Black folks? And one of the pastors, there is a pastor on the platform at this time who is a Trump supporter, and, and spewing off the usual, why we should vote for Trump BS. And I'm like, well, you're saying you're fighting for the community. And I don't doubt it. He probably is. He's seemingly a nice guy. But, all that parroting, what was the church as me as a widow, according to that scripture? If we're going to eat the book, let's eat the book.
Okay,
What
so I
was
have
the
two
help
questions.
of the
I have
church
two
for
questions.
me?
I got two questions because I'm kind of on a time crunch.
Okay,
but,
I'm sorry, baby.
Okay, no, are you good? And thank you for unloading that. So my two questions are: did you ask Larry to support you the way that you asked me and Jives to? And did you inform him that you were interested in being a virtual assistant for him?
And I would take ownership in both of those. The answer was no. And wait a minute, hold up, wait a minute. Let me think, because I know I sent out an email to you, but I think to somebody else. Because if I did, it wasn't in 20, not so much as for the support of the that contest that I was in, but if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in 2022 or maybe early 2023, that I sent the email, because I remember when he was asked, had gave a podcast about the differentiation about what's a PA and the executive assistant and this, that, and the other. And I didn't hear back, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt. He may not have gotten my emails, but because I was having some email trouble around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, closed mouths do not get fed. But
Yes,
at
because
the same time, but hold on to, I abandoned wanting to ask him for something, and I think I may have shared this with you a time or two, based on, because I believed in the ministry of what he was doing, and was a giver when I had it to give, in 2020, 2021, in early 2022. And one of the things when him and Apostle Bishop Bernard Jordan were on, and they were saying some things. He comes on with his prophetic perspectives that really resonated. And one time he was like, "Well, if you don't have it to give, then we're not talking to you." And I'm like, okay, that destroyed me in the terms of, when I was a giver, I gave all the time because I believed in what was saying and saw it come to pass, even in my own life. The one moment I didn't have to give, but the word resonated, all because I didn't. Oh, now you all are not speaking to me. So I'm practicing a little bit more close-handed benevolence.
Okay, so let me speak to some of
And
this.
that's dangerous, and not only for Larry, but for any pastors that feel that way. Because
But let me speak to that. Let me speak to that
okay.
First,
Mm-hmm.
Because those statements get said because when people who have a gift and are being of service to the general public go to acts to be compensated in whatever way that they're being compensated for the expression and usage of their gift, or whether that's providing knowledge, spiritual insight, a prophetic word, or whatever it is that's being given away with. Oftentimes there will be people who will challenge that and say, well, nobody should have to pay for what you are providing. You should be able to give. So the rebuttal is, we're not talking to you. Like, let those who have it to give then give. And if you don't have it to give, that's okay. But if we're here giving, it's also okay for us to ask to be given to as well. And so that's the spirit of that. Like, that's not meant to be a dig or a slide, right, or some type of insult to people who don't have anything, because both of these men are too intelligent and mature to be that disrespectful and dehumanizing to people. But
in the moment of when people are hurting, though, Conscious, you got to realize how that hits the ear.
No.
Already in pain.
I do.
Say that's the way they intended, though.
And because I am a content creator and I'm a growing public figure, what I have to say, and this is going to sound very hard to hear, but people cannot project. And that's what happens, is people project. If it does not pertain to anybody, it should not then be internalized. And when you are in this position, like, we get heckled a lot. I'm a moderator for Larry's chat. I'm an influencer myself. I am in a relationship to other influencers, and I see the petty tomato throwing from hecklers in the chat, etc. So these sentiments are really developed for those people. They're not developed and issued to genuine supporters, because genuine supporters don't even put their artists and their favorite influencers even in a position to have to speak that way. It's always the people who are just coaxing along, the people who are just in the crowd for the hell of being in the crowd. They're not invested. They don't really contribute. They have everything to say. They're smart at the mouth. They're looking for attention from the chat. They're challenging everything that's being communicated. And then this is the rhetoric that's boomerang back to those people. But if you know that you are a genuine supporter, like, if I know I ain't got it, I'm not going to assume that people that I respect and I know do spiritual work, etc., are talking to me if they say, this is for those who have it, give. If you don't. This ain't for you, because it's not. It's not. And there's not a mandate to go find it to give. If you don't have it to give, it's okay to give it.
And this is very much true, but I guess for me, understanding that from the perspective of the church, and not just with those two men, but church period, this is what's parroted, and people do take offense to it. You got to understand that if you're called to be as discerning as they are, to be able to read the room too. Because just because you got 100 people sitting there that believe in the vision and everything that you got going on, 99 may be the ones that give, but the one that really needs it, that won't and has the heart to give the most and does not, and is already in a place of hurting, looking for something encouraging, a word from the Lord, a sign that the season is breaking up and that better things are coming, and you say that can't you, I need for you to also understand, even as learned as I am in the word and whatnot, it was still to some degree wounding.
No, I'm understanding of
And
that.
he wasn't the only people I was listening
But what
to
I'm calling
saying
for,
that. But
saying is the world simply cannot revolve around accommodating everybody's feelings. Other people's triggers are not other people's responsibilities. And unfortunately, we get ourselves into a lot of trouble when we do sit there and something that's not directed to us specifically, even if it's said generally, it ain't even been addressed to us, it ain't been said directly to us, etc. We will take our circumstance and our situation, and because we are the ones who secretly really feel guilty and feel a way about not being able to give, will then project into a statement like that. And that ain't even for someone like you or me or anybody else in the crowd who's not. And what I'm saying is that we too, as viewers and an audience, have to take responsibility for our feelings, and that we can't just keep dumping our feelings into people's hands, especially people who serve an array of people. And why I really wanted to bring you up here was to speak to the situation about the virtual assistant. Like, for me, I have to be flat out honest, and that's why I'm glad that you're here, because I didn't want to have this conversation without you in the conversation, is considering that the energy on King Jives' panel was, King Jives has already expressed, I don't like Larry. Fine. I don't fuck with Larry. I don't fool with Larry. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, cool. But you also have attempted to be somebody who wants everybody to stick together. And when I heard that part of your commentary, I did not feel like it was conducive to bridging the gap. If anything, it was low key in a very coverted way, feeding into a narrative, because even if you had offered yourself as a virtual assistant, which you already have said that you might not have even officially applied or submitted for the job, just like you can't say that you even let him know that you need to support in the contest, but these are things that you have to take responsibility for. But that is also not mandated that he choose you. There's a lot of occupants, and for me, it was like I was looking at it from more so of a very clear, emotionally intelligent perspective. Like, okay, if I had applied for a job, I'm not going to also internalize not getting the job, because I'm sure that a lot of people are seeking employment, and it can be assumed that somebody like Larry, who already has an established business, already has access to a lot of professionals as well. And it just felt like it was more like conjecture, and there was this underbelly of trying to skew a narrative that at face value, it sounds like what it sounds like, oh, Larry is just being selfish and don't give a fuck about his supporters. But then at the same time, you just admitted, I have to take responsibility for not even properly informing this man that I particularly specifically needed help and didn't even give him a formal opportunity to actually help me. But yet you put that narrative out before you had unpacked all of that. And that is the kind of stuff that can lead to like things just being dangerous to people's reputation, because everybody loves to take to this platform and to just give the way they feel and then make other people wrong in that experience. And there ain't been no wrong that's even been committed. And if anything, the experiencer might have gotten it wrong.
And I hear that. I want to answer to really be. I didn't misunderstand what I'm trying to get, and I didn't even misunderstand. Projected it on him. For what I've been through, the walk that I've had to take, and me and you had this conversation on CTV. I would not wish on my worst enemy if I had one, knowingly or unknowingly. So, because for others, they might not have the friends that they have that will help them unconditionally. They may have nobody. This kind of stuff is how people unalive themselves. But I'm stronger than that, for number one. Number two, it wasn't a dig to Larry, because I still love Larry. I still listen to Larry. And for Relly B, who doesn't know me, and this is why I don't do social media no more than be on y'all's platforms. I wasn't trying to have a relevant moment. The issue had to do with, from some things as a seer in the Lord's church, there was some things that I had been seeing for a long time. People do jump ship and go to other people's platforms or whatever and stir up mess, as we know from yesterday's conversation with the FUPA and all of that. And then there are others that are really wanting to try to get put on, and no one is taking them seriously. I am neither of those. All I said is what I noticed, that the people that do leave Larry, they're wanting inner court status, like you and Shamako and them know me too. I love Kendall, and he's a beautiful person.
And I'm glad that you have.
But they don't have. They're
but
not.
This is the thing. This is the thing.
They may not get that audience, and so don't.
This is the thing. I'm glad that you
willing to help.
I'm glad you brought them up, Sin. I don't mean. To rush you, because this is already taking up a lot of time, but I just want to say I'm glad that you mentioned all of us, because you just mentioned a slew of people who had to absolutely work for that position. We were not given anything by Dr. Reid either. Right.
And I'm not saying
everybody around Dr. Reid has had to earn their stripes, and rightfully so. And he has earned theirs too, in terms of a close circle. But also, when it comes to just dealing with the general public, Larry has mapped out his audience into tier levels. There is the general public that everybody gets to tune into if they just follow him on Instagram and YouTube. Then there's the Patreon audience, which is a bit more of an intimate audience. And then there is the Reformation audience, which is the actual digital spiritual church where we tithe, we sow seeds, we're in Bible studies on Wednesday, we're in church on Sundays. And so Larry is offering proximity and intimacy and closeness, but people have to arrive on those levels if that's what they want, because Patreon is available for anybody who wants to subscribe to Patreon. If you want to be a part of his church, he is a pastor, he's offered that as well. But if you
I was a member of Patreon.
I know, like but you just said it was.
And out, I've been out. If I did never tell you, yes, I was a member of Patreon for a couple of years. But like I said, when my income ran out, you don't get a chance to participate the way that you want to when you're fighting to keep lights and stuff on the internet, so you can continue to put in.
I know. And that's why I'm so surprised.
Hold on 1 second. And to Emily B, baby, I don't need no inner court or nothing like that with him, because everybody's gonna face his and her own day of reckoning, whatever that is. And I don't need no proximity to none of them, not even to CTV. I love CTV just his commentary. He gives a balanced argument. I love Jazz when he want to be messy and something. It's good for a cackle. I love Larry, especially his humble beginnings, how he started out, putting the fathers on blast that weren't doing shit for their children, and for the church, and the messiness and the things that they continue to perpetuate. So I don't need inner court with any of them, boo boo. Hey, let's keep it a buck. I
Okay.
listen to, I can take this shit or I can leave this shit. But I'm just saying, in a place of hurting, not that I was trying to project what I was going on, but I was like, if I feel this way, because if I had never said it yesterday, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Exactly.
But just think that others that might have been, that's the reason why they acted up in the chat.
I'm sorry, boo. I'm gonna have to keep it blatantly 100. It was really it wasn't well for you to express a conclusion in your head about how someone may or may not have overlooked you, while also knowing that you did not formally and directly give this person an opportunity to even pour into your specific circumstances, because you did not communicate any of those things.
Okay,
that is flawed behavior. And when we allow ourselves to develop a narrative about hold on.
But no, I'm not gonna let her attack me when she doesn't know.
No, but this ain't about Emily. I'm here talking to you, and I want you to refrain. I want you. Well, Sin, you will have the opportunity to talk to Emily in the chat, because you have a moderator, so you can deal with her in the chat. I'm talking to you right now, and I do have to move on. So I'm having a conversation with you. So just ignore whatever is in the chat, and you can definitely you and Emily can get it on in the chat once you down. I just wanted to speak to that, and I wanted to speak to you directly about that. And I'm glad that you were able to say, I didn't even communicate these things to Larry, even though I got ahead of myself and I spoke about being overlooked, and I feel a way about overlooked. But yeah, you're right. I didn't even communicate what my circumstances really were, and really gave this man an opportunity to speak up for myself. And then I went on the platform of somebody that I know don't like him, and particularly spoke about that instance in his and I's social media relationship. That's loaded. It's loaded. And I just want you to kind of just unpack that a little bit, but we can revisit that. I just did, but since it got said openly and it got said on a panel that is being reviewed tonight, I didn't want to overlook it.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so I will drop the link if you see her at the end.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah, I'm about to bring up Mr. Knockout so he can get to his stuff.
Oh, okay. I'll talk to you later, baby.
All right, boo. All right, I was seeing you guys. All right, Knockout Media. Hi. I didn't know that I would take up that much time. My apologies. Because I know you are a working man, you got a baby, you got get up early, so I know you ain't even got time. But I will finish that if Sin is around, and I'll even drop the link for Emily to come up, girl, and they can get into it. But you're here. You had a conversation with King Jives yesterday. You watched his panel on his platform yesterday. First and foremost, what was your experience of you and his initial conversation? Because I felt like it went well. And then what was your observations about what took place on his show afterwards?
Well, first and foremost, hey to you, hey to everybody in the chat. I come to every situation, as a man, and like I said, I told Jives that, yesterday, like I said, I told him, everything I wanted to tell him, I wanted to tell him to his face. So, I came to him as a man, and I told him I respect him as a man. So that's why I wanted to, give him my honest word. So, it's not like I'm, I was planning to attack anybody or, go out of my way to create a situation or anything like that. And then second, I was not angry. That's definitely a thing that, I want to emphasize with this conversation and this moving forward. This is not a conversation based out of anger or out of emotion or anything like that. You know what I mean? I truly believe that we need to move past the emotion and everything, part of everything, and focus really on like the root cause of like this, just everything. I want to know honestly what transpired from when Miss Miko had disappeared, and from I mean, from like I said, to Josh yesterday, I just felt like he wasn't really as involved as I thought he should have been. So as far as everything, I just want to know like what transpired to where I was out of the loop, and I was left kind of to fend for myself, so to speak. Um, and then I guess there's a lot to unpack, but I guess we'll just go as it unfolds.
Okay, are you able to like, I don't know, like speak? I don't know. The microphone is
it muffled?
It's alright, but
Mm.
it's something it got the potential to be really awesome. And I want you to be able to be very clear and be very heard in this conversation. But it sounds like it's a lot, kind of like you in an open, like I don't know, like you in a big room or something.
Yeah, let me see. I am in my kitchen. Hold on, let me go outside. Let me go back outside.
Are you talking into like a microphone? Are you talking into like a headpiece, or?
Yeah, my phone.
You're talking into the? You talking into the actual phone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you sound better now. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay, no, you sound the same, but it's okay. As long as if everybody else can hear him, then that's all that matters, really. Okay, so were you complete in your review of?
Well, yeah. I mean, other than that, I just think that as far as Jives live, I just feel everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to their feelings. Again, I just don't understand the whole victim mentality when everything was bred pretty much by these two. For being honest, not even that, not even so much that. I think Jives and Miko need to take more ownership of what transpired, and when I say that, just more things behind the scenes that people don't know about. See what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm what I'm saying is clear enough.
You're saying that you believe that Miss Miko and Jives need to take accountability, that there's a lot of things that have taken place, and you just don't feel like there's been enough nor proper ownership on part of Miss Miko and Jives. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Miko is here. Jives will be joining us as well. Hey, Auntie Deb. Hey, y'all. Hey, everybody. Hey, Really B. Shout out to Really B TV, girl. She's a content creator. She's amazing. Subscribe to her. She's an adamant supporter. I love you. King Jives is also here as well. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't know what y'all want to do. I don't know whether y'all want to do one-offs or y'all just want, if you don't mind talking to Miss Miko and Jives all at once. I'm so encouraged by yesterday's exchange. I'm so encouraged that I feel confident in whatever way y'all want to do this, whether y'all are just all want to be up here together or whatever it is. But how do you want to do it? Do you want to talk to Miss Miko on a one-on-one first? Talk to King Jives on a one-on-one first, or do you just want me to just? I mean, are you cool with
I just like, I like the panel idea of just
everybody up? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to welcome first and foremost the king of the damn Jive shop. Hey, King Jive.
Okay, well, my phone is dead, so I'm gonna have to go plug it up. But I do want to say this. I get hey Naka, Brian, how you doing? I want to do this first of all because yesterday's show, when I was over here, I gave that energy because this is his platform, and I said initially, hey, because this is my friend's platform. And whatever way that's his people, I'm gonna respect this platform. When I got on mine, I wanted to respond how I wanted to respond, because again, you and I have never had really interaction with each other. So what you was given, I let you converse and talk, and I didn't get a chance to really say much because you were on a time limit because you were at work. And so I respected that. My issue with what was going on was the fact that we came here to talk about Daryl, which that was the issue. And I was trying to explain what all was going on and the timeline, which a lot of new people don't know the timeline. They don't know what all happened. That's the purpose of Andrea. We were all talking about everything that transpired. When you came in at a different time. So you don't know really the backstory. So you were coming in at a different season and time. What I told Conscious was this. I said, when he said that you wanted to have a conversation with Mikko, I said, I don't know really how that's going to go because Knockout has a different relationship with Mikko. And I don't really know if he or she, if y'all want to put all that out, because that's something that's not on social media. And I think that that's where it needs to stay, off of social media. But again, it is what it is. I don't control Mikko. Mikko does not control me. That's my sister, and there's going to always be that. And so when people say that I'm not protecting her, people don't understand what has happened offline and how we've already discussed what we going to not step in, what we going to step in. And so when you don't hear those conversations, people only see one thing. And I know my sister say a whole lot of stuff when she be in her feelings, just like I do. I say a whole lot of things when I'm in my feelings at the moment. So that's what I can speak to. When I was on my page, I said how I felt because I felt like your response was because you are in the LRL camp. So everybody that's in the LRL camp, when I say certain things based upon that, people are going to feel however they feel. And that's cool. But like I told Conscious, that's your people. Me and Conscious, we cool. But that's your people. I can't get mad at you because that's your people. But when your people don't respect you and stand up for you, I'm going to say something. Because you my people. All right. If you want to say something to me, you can. I'm right here. And then I'm going to let Mikko go. And I'm going to peace out. Because that's all I got.
And once again, I'm going to speak when spoken to. But go ahead, Knockout.
Mikko go, and then I'll give my piece after, if that's okay.
Well, if you want to give it to King Jives, because he's kind of on a time crunch too. So if you want to engage King Jives.
All right, well, what I would say to you, man, is I don't have any qualms with you. What I said to you is just just me being honest. Like, I don't want to ever have any reservations or thoughts of if I see somebody, man, I should have said this to him. I wish I could say this or whatever. I don't think you're a bad person or anything like that. Again, that's just what I was. That's just how I feel. Now, of course, like I said, I would never take away any content creators right to how they want to address anything or to how something should be talked about, right? And again, you're coming at it, like you said, from a different perspective than what I am. So I'm not taking any of that away from you at all. I agree with you 100% on that. What I'm saying is, as far as the accountability part is, I just wish that in the past there had been just a little bit more intensity and just kind of urgency, a sense of urgency when it comes to not even so much you, because again, me and you were kind of distant, right? So I'm not going to say that I'm not going to put so much responsibility on you, but when I came out again, I was coming out in defense of MsMikko, right? And it's not like I was questioning where you were or anything like that. Again, everybody had their own perspective on how things were going down, and I came into it in a way of I just saw Mikko and I learned about you after. So again, it's not like I was. I don't want to be coming in here like I put on a cape and I was coming in to save people or anything like that. I was just coming in more so of I wanted to insert my own opinion on what was going on, but I'm not trying to martyr myself or anything like that. But again, I just think that there should be some more accountability taken, when it comes to at least even just speaking to uh, Poopa or whatever you want to refer to him as, and deadening the shit. Now, again, you can't control anybody, just like you said, but I think again, the reinforcement and just like the reassurance of like, hey, what you're doing is wrong is like something that's universal to everybody. Most people listen to that, and I think a lot of it gets encouraged when you're kind of like chirping on the sidelines and cheering it on, but at the same time, like, oh hey, I'm not doing anything. And I feel like that with Miss Miko too. It's like, she's coming at it like, oh well, I'm innocent and like, I don't really have this part in like what happened after, but I just wanted to look out for myself. I just feel like there's like this selfish aspect of it. So I don't know, but
It's an
it's
alarm.
just,
Hold on, y'all. It's an alarm that's going off in the background. Okay, I think it's gone now.
So I'll speak to this. When Miko was saying something about, like where my brother at or whatever, again, she had a lot going on at that particular time. And so she and I had already had a conversation about not even saying nothing or addressing anything because one, I was helping another larger content creator and I was not even in town. So I was not even trying to deal with that because of who I was dealing with and what I was dealing with. That was not just a client, that was a personal friend of mine. And then so my sister was like, bro, you go deal with that and I'll handle this. And so she said that publicly as well too. She didn't say who I was dealing with, but that was somebody that I was dealing with. So while she was out here swinging and banging, I was out here previously before her swinging and banging. And so I was doing something else offline, taking care of what I was taking care of offline. And she was out here swinging at the moment. And she was out here making videos, making content and doing all of those things. And so when I was not here, she was like, where my brother at? Again, she is in her feelings because she's upset about what's going on. And y'all are in the comments, not y'all. Just let me speak and say this because this is not directed at anybody on here or anybody in the comments. But people were in the comments. Let me just preface it like that. People were in the comments egging her on as if I was not nowhere around when we talk every day and we discussing this stuff every day. So a lot of this stuff has been going on. And like I told Andrea the other day, a lot of things that have transpired between all of us is because when we're all upset, some of us, not all of us, when we're all upset, we take different approaches to different things. And that was what I was saying yesterday on my platform. Now, I said it a little differently, and my energy was very different because I was a little irritated because of how I felt things went yesterday. But I was trying to be right because I was on my friend's platform. And so, like I said, everybody has to take the accountability for all of this stuff because, again, we all responded differently because how things were happening. I responded differently to Andrea and Daryl because, again, of everything that was going on. And when I said peace out and I said deuces, I was done. Because when I started seeing guns and I started seeing people talk about what they're going to do to people's bodies and they're going to come and do this and they're going to come and do that, I'm out. I ain't answering no phone. I ain't saying nothing to nobody because I think that's too far and that's doing too much. And when I saw that from Daryl, I was good because at no point when I've ever been upset with Conscious. Now, we got a different relationship. When I was upset with Conscious, not one time did I say I was going to come and do bodily harm to him. He was my little pony and I was Goku. I was Goku. So that was what we did. We talked about each other. We threw shade. We called names and all of that stuff. That's where it stayed. I was not coming to Carolina to do bodily harm to him. I was not doing any of those things. Why? Because it wasn't that serious. Because when all of the fighting is done, we still going to eventually end up talking. And this is going to be bygones because it's not even that deep and it's not that serious. But we had an individual that felt like he wanted to get up out of his body and do some crazy stuff. So then when he started talking to Miko crazy and all this stuff and started talking about he going to pull her body parts and all this other stuff like that, then all of us, me and her, both start getting crazy because it's like, nigga, come do it. Go to Chicago or come to Florida, whichever one you do it. because they're gonna pick your ass up off of this ground with a body bag. Think you're gonna come down here and do anything. So it's just been very different for all of us. And for me, I have a different feeling about all of this stuff because of where a lot of these individuals came from. They didn't just come out the blue, they came from somebody's, and that person is not necessarily responsible for these people's actions, but this is where they came from. So when they didn't get the attention there, they tried to come over here, and unbeknownst to me, I ended up finding out about it later. So I relinquish my microphone. Y'all got it.
And once again, I will only speak when spoken to.
Do I gotta stay here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you said your piece. I mean, I feel like it can't get more clear than that. I feel like you're in it now, like, you know, for sure. I feel like, you know, now you're seeing, you know, kind of like, I guess what I have been seeing, you know, for these past like couple of years with the situation, which is kind of, you know, sad to say, but I'm not going to say that, you know, you're the one that's complicit in everything and that you've egged on everything, because it's not true. But I just feel like, you know, in some part, like, yeah, you know, like you said, once, you know, firearms started being produced and, you know, the kids started being talked about and schools started wanting to be, you know, put online and stuff like that. I feel like that's, you know, exactly the point of like when it's like, okay, you know, and now I need to start speaking out against, you know, this person. And, you know, it's like I do applaud you for any effort that you put in as far as like, you know, okay, you know, I need to correct that my space and even being like in a proximity to this guy, right? But you know, it's like, okay, so what is the ultimate recourse as to you know, really help Larry and help CTV and help, you know, Mikko get to the bottom of stopping this individual? You know what I'm saying? Like, when does that come in? You know?
Well, I mean,
So I like to speak.
oh, go ahead.
I could. First of all, I want to say congratulations, Knockout Media, to your baby and your wife. I do want to say this. I spoke yesterday, and it's been a long time since me and you spoke. When I initially met you, we really never had no great conversations about the in-depthness of what was going on. I had to research you. I had to understand, where did you come from? Because you did make a video, and I applauded you because I liked you. I liked your stance. I liked your voice. I liked the clarity of your pictures. You have taught this community a lot about using equipment when it comes to social media, even down to the microphones, which CTV has blessed you tremendously. And I like that I introduced you where I so thought that I introduced you to the community, and people followed you because you have your own mind. And I respected that. So my conversations to you in private has always been of uphold. It's like, okay, you got the skill, you could do this and you could do this. I've never talked to you ill because you are of age where you could literally be my son. And I never felt the need to come on social media to bash you, to talk about you, no matter what you felt about me, which you have expressed publicly. I have tried to express to you personally in your inbox and Instagram, and I try to combine you and CTV as well. So there's no behind the scenes when it comes to accountability. I don't hide nothing. And as far as the commenters, there's a lot of people that have been following me for years, and I have been at the bat for them in this situation, and I didn't like it because their security was messed with. One of the followers that's in the comments is not the one. I drove all the way to Belleville because her whole life was being threatened. She owns a basketball team, and a lot of people don't know there are rich people sitting on this live that have invested their time and energy into all of us as content creators. But we had a crazy person that came in and infiltrated us all. It has caused us all harm. It has caused us all pain. It has caused us all anguish, and we all have dealt with it in our own terms. When I came out swinging, and I just mentioned this to CTV, I said nobody out here was fighting but me and CTV. We was wearing Daryl ass out. Okay. And this is before I knew of you, whether you were following it or not. So yes, did somebody speak? I'm sorry, did somebody say something? Because I heard something on my end.
Oh no, you got it. I think somebody sent it a text.
Okay. And this was before you came in. And I didn't want you involved. And I remember this day because I screen recorded this when Daryl and Marcellus was on that goddamn live and they were threatening you and you were upset. And at that time, a lot of people in the comment section didn't know about your life and the things that you were going through. And I told you, I said, knockout, withdraw. You didn't withdraw. And I did not like the way he came and attacked you. It was like I was looking at my own child being attacked by some bullshit that I brought into the table. I felt responsible for that. So I thought. But then we had another twisted situation because I wasn't in agreement with another party. At that time, I wasn't talking to her. And everything went left from that point. So as far as taking accountability, I don't know what you're talking about because I could take accountability to everything that I've said and done. And like I told CTV today, if I said anything to offend you, because one of the things was, it was brought up in conversation that I was screaming, where is the black man? Why aren't the men standing up for me? I wasn't talking about CTV because I appreciated him because it was only me and CTV before you came around that was making videos in defense of this fool acting up on social media. I was talking to the black men that were actually watching the show, that were commenting to me, that were actually sending me emails in regards to the situation. And I was trying to figure out why they haven't made a video, why they haven't stood up against this man that was deranged online. And then here I have a young man that actually made a video with such clarity and spoke very well and spoke his opinion about the situation. I commended you on that. I loved you for that. I hate that CTV felt a little slighted because I loved him for it, but I didn't get a chance to make a video to thank him because me and him was bopping that nigga's head inside out. I came on with whole skits, nothing but creativity. I just wasn't sitting in front of a microphone talking. CTV did the same with his voices and had his reads, and he will read you for 15 minutes straight. And that's what he's known for because he could read somebody. I have commended him on his intelligence, just like you. So, as far as accountability, I am going to stand accountable for me involving you if you didn't have no interior motive. I don't know where you came from because you have admitted that you were following Larry. So I don't know the inside out of the relationship and how you came to my so-called rescue. And again, I still commend you because there was not a lot of people that spoke up. I care for people. And just like I stated, I even drove 300 miles, almost 400 miles to get up with Roxanne because they were threatening to hurt somebody that was following them. And that made no sense. And my whole stance was, if you're going to hurt somebody, hurt me. If you're going to do this, do this. See, this is the back of the situation that a lot of people don't know. That's how much I care because this situation really got out of hand. And that's all I really want to say. I do want to issue an apology. If you felt as though I left you in that situation, but there was nothing left to do. I was not the one suing him. He was broke. There's no police to call. There's no paperwork to fill out to stop this madman. Even with the lawsuit, he's still going. So I felt as though I needed to withdraw. And that's what I did. But I feel your feelings like I came out for you, but you're not saying anything for me. So I apologize and I hold myself accountable for that motion. But there was a lot going on. And I didn't want to reach out because it was a lot going on, Knockout. And I just felt that way to withdraw. So for that, I take accountability and I apologize because you did stand up for me. And I appreciate you for that. And the same for CTV. If I never ever commended anybody for coming to my defense on the internet. And so I just want to say that.
I love Andrea.
I definitely appreciate that. And okay, so when I say accountability, this is mainly what I'm talking about. I'm not dismissing at all anything that you had just said, but I just wanted to speak to that point. Is so, and I'm not asking you to get into specifics. I'm not asking you to divulge anything, that you don't want to. But what was the conversation that was had? Because as far as I'm aware, there was a conversation that was had between you and the individual that has been attacking everybody. And so what did that conversation encompass? Like what was the, I guess, the root of that conversation? How did that come to be? And then
Okay,
what
so
was
you
the point?
got Larry that actually sued him. I sat back and I watched the situation and I said it's not working. And I told Demario that because I didn't have privy to CTV or you to just call you and say, hey, I don't think this is working. I think we need to do plan B. So in my mind, and I said, I'm calling Daryl. You want to know why? Because Daryl emails me every time something goes down. Just like I got an email when it came to CTV's lawsuit. When I got an email, when he even sent my whole rep sheet to Larry. I got an email when he was going to go live. He emailed. So his attached to his email, if you ever got an email, is his number. So what I did was, I'm the type of person, I'm from the streets for real. I don't play on the internet and throw things out to make views. I don't do that. I call people up. You got a problem with me? What's up? Because I'm not used to that type of energy. When people say online that they want to hurt me or kill me or do something, hold on. I'm trying to reach out to you. Now, the back and forth with Daryl is because he refused to talk to me on the phone. And so I called him and I talked to him. And I never made a video about it because to me, I was handling my business to stop the lunacy. You want to know why, Knockout? Because I got a real business. And that was affecting me. And those videos were still being played and they were up. And I wanted him to take them down. So I watched as Larry sued him and how hard it took him, how long it took him to take the videos down, whereas it was still affecting me too, because there's videos about me too, along with other people. So I thought if I call him, I could talk to him, woman to man, iron out our situations. So what happened on the phone call is what you asked. We argued. We argued about how it started. We argued how he felt as though I talked about his dead children. We argued about all the stillborn images that I put on my community wall. We argued about how I got doxxed. We argued about who doxed me first. We argued about all that. And we came to a conclusion that this is the end because I don't have anything to do with it. So when I say I'm innocent, I never started this knockout. And that's the part where you were never there in the beginning. I never started it. And so I was dragged in it because of my affiliation with Demario. And a lot of people don't like me just because of my affiliation with him. They blame me for their relationships with him. They blame me for him not answering his phone. They blame me because they said I controlled Demario. They said I liked Demario. Oh, baby, I got drugged through the mud for just having a relationship with Demario. So I got blamed for everything Demario said, what he did, what was going on. Everything was on me. It's Mikko. It's Mikko. When in fact it wasn't. I was just a friend to him. And I knew him before I met everybody else on this panel. I knew Larry before I knew Demario. I knew Larry before everybody on this panel knew Larry. So I didn't have no problems with nobody. I just was a friend to a content creator. And I wanted those videos down for the purpose of my business. That's it. And that's all.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. And CTV, I think you could speak to this, that associations seem to have been like kind of detrimental to us, only in the point of this fool has been attacking people just because of who they're associated to. And
but knockout. And I'm gonna step in real quick. That's what I was saying yesterday. Because of our affiliations with one another, wherever we came from, this man has attacked just because. the mere thing that I did, and Andrea can tell you this, I stopped answering the phone because I was over it. I stopped answering the phone and everybody got mad. And I was like, I don't want to do this. Because one, my thing was this. I was like, if anything happens, I don't want no involvement. If this man actually, wait, no. My thing was, if this man actually like goes through what he said he's gonna do, I don't want no affiliation. I said, because I don't do all that. You know what I'm saying? This man, I don't know. I can't say who has been worse, but this man has doxed all of us so bad. It's been ridiculous. Like from our kids, and yes, I got kids, from our kids to our homes, to our jobs, to our customers, all kind of stuff. This man even making videos about me when I had a tease OnlyFans. He up here talking about he want to ride my donka. So I was like, what? I mean, it doesn't matter what I did. He was right there watching everything that I did. And I'm just like, you don't, now y'all talk about accountability. This the nigga who y'all need to have that energy for. Is that bitch, that motherfucker over there. Because ain't nobody in here talking about what this bitch need to be doing. Just like that fat neck motherfucker over there, y'all need to be holding the fight of that bitch over there. This bitch want to stir up all kind of chaos and confusion, and now he want to be the goddamn victim. Ain't nobody saying nothing when this bitch was over there want to go up to Andrea them house, her kids, her mother-in-law, and all this other bullshit. Like, ain't nobody talking about that. But over there, I'm the victim. Y'all pray for me. No. So when I tell you, we was out here cutting the fuck up for real, like we was ready to go get on the road. Me and Mikko was ready to go get on the road. And then when I decided to just be like, you know what? I'm out. I'm done. I'm not even responding no more. I'm over it. That's when, and then y'all say, oh, I'm flip-flopping, because it gets to a point where you start getting real close to me and this shit is really starting to irritate me. When you start dealing with my family, bitch, I'm ready to put some hands on you now. And that's all I'm saying. And me and Mikko have been out here fighting, and we've been taking turns. And when we get together and we start windmilling, it's a whole big drama of a mess. And then when you say Mario flip-flopping, it's because I try to play nice, then the play nice don't go right. I try to play nice, then it don't go right.
Well, see, that's exactly where my sentiment is, as far as like, why even drum up? Why even go to this fool and try to like play nice? Or why even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I understand where you're coming from, as far as like, okay,
you about me with Daryl?
Yes.
Oh, no. See, that's what you misunderstand. Okay, I haven't talked to that fool in God knows how long. That nigga came up here, was making new videos. I hadn't dealt with him. I hadn't talked to him. I hadn't did nothing. He started making new videos because after Vincent started making his stuff, he started coming back after all us again. I, just like Mikko, I picked up my damn phone and I said, do. Hey, nigga, what's up? I got the whole conversation.
I think honestly, especially because we were all in the thick of it when it all really started happening. Not to cut you off, Jives. No,
you good.
No disrespect. I think honestly, in all fairness, like hindsight, looking back, we're like 5 years later. Like honestly, 5 years is a long time for people to grow and to be able to look at things and reflect on things and see things for what they truly were, especially when you're not necessarily in it anymore. Like you're kind of able to like step aside from it. But to like look back and realize what we were really going through at that time, like hardcore me, Jives, Mikko, Conscious, Larry, in the initial portion of it being heavily doxxed and knockout, you know, later on ended up being inducted into our, you know, being doxxed and stalked crew. Being able to look back on it, I really do feel like it was a situation that, and I can't speak for everybody on the panel, but in my opinion, it was a situation that none of us had really ever dealt with. We had never truly experienced being doxxed and stalked and harassed at the extent that this man and his crew was doing to us. And it was just chaos. And when you're in a situation, it's a lot harder to deal with it when you're in it and you're in the thick of it and everything's crashing around you and you're like, just like, what the hell's going on? You don't really know what's up and you don't know who to trust and who not to trust, and everybody's the ops. And it's like, even if somebody really didn't have any ill will towards you, you may not have seen it at that point, but maybe you could step back now. I feel like a lot of us can look back at the situation and see things that we couldn't see because we were in it and it was so thick and it was so heavy. Like, I don't know. I just feel like maybe now we can all just look back and be like, oh, maybe it wasn't necessarily what we thought it was. Maybe some parts were, but maybe some parts weren't. I
But
just feel like now, 5 years later, like my view on things now compared to then is so different. Like,
but you
in
gotta
my opinion, it's
he's
different.
he's still trying to come after, all of you guys, you know what I mean? And just really
You
just as far.
included, all of us, for sure. All of us. You included all of us, for sure.
And I would like to make a comment, CTV, if I may. I'm going to go on the record that I was on Jive's video last night, and I stated that the guns came out for me. If nobody really ever listened fully to the video from yesterday, I also mentioned the two in the chest to Larry. But I also know, and I want to go on the record, that when Daryl was irate, they also came out for CTV. They also came out for Knockout, and they definitely came out for Andrea. So I don't want to not acknowledge people that have been through some things with Daryl. And like I stated yesterday, everybody came from a different perspective. Everybody came from a different side of the room. And everybody has encountered harassment, stalking, threats, and everything from this young man just because he was angry.
Oh
So I
man.
do want to go on record for stating that and holding accountability and not be passive aggressive towards the situation, but to make sure everybody knows that I watched everything and I know everybody that has suffered. But how we came into the situation was way different. And I'm glad, Andrea, me and you, we had our part and we all know how it started. We don't need to rehash that because it is painful. But I do want to say that I'm glad that you have admitted that it's been 5 years. And a lot of people don't know that it started in 2019 and we had time to reflect. So I just wanted to say that if I could.
Oh, for sure, Miko. And I can even say 5 years later, because you and I haven't been on a panel in what, maybe 4 years. And I
20
could be
years.
wrong in my numbers, but maybe 4 years, maybe three, something like that. You and I haven't even been able to be on the panel. And I still stalk your ass. I watch you. I be seeing you doing your thing. And I be
Damn,
like
Dre,
rooting
don't
for
say
you.
that.
I do. I root for Miko. I've been saying this
Thank you,
since
baby.
last year when I was, listen, I can I can say in 5 years, people change, people have grown. Again, I can literally look back and say like shit. Like things are not what we necessarily thought they were. And being in the thick of something is different from being able to step aside 5 years later and be like, oh, right. Because again, we were dealing with something that most of us, if maybe all of us, again, I can't speak for everybody, had never dealt with before. And we were dealing with like somebody that was high intensity, intent on destroying all of our lives, not just my life. It was yours, mine, Knockout, Conscious, Miko. It was all of our lives were trying to be destroyed at once. It was a fucking whirlwind. So I can even look back and say, I dead ass to this day still follow Miko. I see her. I see what she doing. I be like, oh, I love her. She's doing her thing. I've been saying her since day one. Girl, can I get a blowout session? Like, I've always loved that about Miko. But I can say I can, and I already have before, but even still to this day, I can be a mature person and say, I apologize for anything that I did to her or said to her just out of anger, not knowing what was really going on, not really necessarily fully assessing the situation. Maybe she said some things out of anger or not really knowing what was going on or whatever. Anybody on this panel at all, I have no ill will, no harm, no hate. If anybody on this panel was like, Drea, come to court. I need you. Can you do this? Can I get a Dropbox? Can I get a police report? Y'all ain't got to do nothing but say a word. I will be there. No questions asked, whatever you need. And I can say if I ever hurt anybody from me being a hurt person 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I can say I'm sorry for sure because I never wanted any of this for any of us ever.
Well, girl, I waited 5 years for that. You just calm my
And we
spirit, baby. You
and
know
we
what?
can
And I can
all
apologize.
and we can
And
all
I can
want the same
apologize.
thing.
No,
You
I'm
know
gonna
what I
tell you
mean?
this.
We can genuinely all want the same thing in retrospect. But I'm just saying, for
Woo!
me, I can grow up and say, hindsight looking back, I owe everybody on the panel an apology. And I think I'm owed apologies, but I'm not gonna beat nobody's
But
story out of
Andrea, I'm
nothing
gonna give you
for
I
yours.
already
anybody.
said I was.
But
Andrea, I want to
just hear
give you
me. Just
yours.
hear me. Just let me finish. I'm not saying it to anybody at all on the panel. I'm just saying in general. But I'm just saying this to say I can genuinely say, hindsight looking back, I have nothing but the utmost respect for every single person on this panel, because we all went through hell and fucking back. And even in spite of all of us not knowing who to trust, who not to trust, we were all still willing to come together and say enough is enough. And so for me, I got nothing but respect for everybody on the panel, and I got nothing but love for everybody on the panel. And if I personally, Andrea Garrison, ever hurt anybody on this panel, I can genuinely stand up and say, as a young lady growing up, making mistakes, I apologize sincerely, because I meant nothing for anybody bad. And that's dead ass.
Well,
Andrea, wait a minute. I just want to say thank you. I waited 5 years, but I do want to say I'm going to hold accountability because I did respond. And I'm sorry for calling you olive oil. No, I'm just playing, girl. I'm sorry too. You
we
know,
meant that shit.
I'm sorry. Because just like you say, now I have to just really tap in on that 5 years, and a lot of people don't know this. This has just really been going on because it stuck us in a bad place. And again, knockout. Me, you, and Andrea, we had some words, and I want to apologize again for everything, because when I look back, and I still got my videos, I was foaming at the mouth. I was doing all type of shit because I was trying to defend myself. And I really appreciate this 5 years of growth, and you just simply saying you're sorry. And I don't want to rehash it, but I accept it. And baby girl, I accept it, and I want to tell you I'm sorry too.
Thank you. And I can now grow up and say, I accept that apology. Because I remember when you apologized to me a couple years ago, and I was like, fuck that bitch.
Yeah,
I don't
you
want to
was
hear shit
like,
she
fuck
got to say.
you.
I remember that whole, but I can grow up and say, I apologize, and I can say genuinely, yes, I accept your apology too. Because hindsight looking back, I don't believe that any of us were actually really malice towards each other. I think that it was just that we were genuinely all just in a height of what was happening. And it wasn't, people don't like, the commenters don't really get what we were going through behind the scenes. That shit was ugly. It was
I'm
ugly.
It was ugly. And knockout, that's what I was trying to explain. And that's where the break off came out. And it was this situation. And it took this moment right now. And so I was apprehensive. I argued with CTV up and down the fucking highway. Because I felt as though this was a setup, but I thank God that this turned out to be something else. A lot of commenters may be lost, but we sitting on this panel, we know, because we were them 5 horsey people. Hello? Okay. All right. I just want to say that.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I
And I
definitely.
just say that I'm so glad that I turned out to be right and a genius and brilliant as always.
Well, CT.
Oh,
Look at
girl,
I'm gonna go back to shutting the hell up.
girl.
Okay, look, this is what I was gonna say. So between me and CTV and our conversations, privately about this, there have been many times where we have been talking and it's been like, man, why can't everybody just kind of like get on the same page? Like, if we could have been at this point, maybe 2-3 years ago, right? It's like what, how quickly and how much of a solution we could have found to a lot of the issues that were going on.
I
And
got your solution. I
It
know.
took for you to have us a baby, knockout. We needed a baby knockout. It took for you to have a baby for us to grow up, knockout. We needed to see you have our baby boy. Congratulations. He is beautiful.
thank you.
I ain't even seen the child. Can somebody inform me?
Oh, he's a cutie patootie. He's got his little chubby cheeks, and knockout be having him in his little Nike fits. He's so cute.
Yeah, he's on my
And
community.
we all low key been checking on each other. We've been peeping in. I've been peeping
Well,
on. All
that's a
right,
lie because I ain't been checking on
Andrea, we
nobody.
don't know what
This
you
the
are.
first time
Okay,
I
you
didn't talk
changed
to
your name
Andre in
50
so long.
times. You changed your name 50 times now. I know you somebody else, but
Cause listen,
girl, you been
I'm on a
traveling.
whole Netflix show. I gotta shut the fuck up and sit down. Okay, you taught me, Miko. Shut the fuck up and sit down, bitch.
This the thing. The reason why we couldn't get along is because it was so bad. Like a couple years, it was just bad because it was like we don't know who to trust each other because it's like somebody saying this, and then this sound weird. And I know Conscious said, "Well, bitch, you sound weird," and how you responded. And hell yeah, I was sounding weird because I'm like, bitch, now this don't sound right. That don't sound right, bitch. I don't like how you your friend and ain't saying this about it. It's always been that. And so at the end of the day, like we always watching this stuff go on, but if it, like I said yesterday, the main focus in all of this has been that dude over there. Because even though I don't fuck with this other person over here, like this dude ain't never openly or privately that I know of threatened to do anything to me. You get what I'm saying? Like it's some stuff that I don't like, but it's just I can say this, he ain't never personally threatened my life, come to pull my body parts apart, whatever the case may be. It's just been that. We can argue all day. That's just like with fucking Beetlejuice. We can argue all day long, but that bitch ain't never tried to come, although he would get squashed. He ain't never came to try to do like bodily harm to me. So it's just at the end of the day, it's like that's what it is. So when you got a person that's online putting your personal business out here, putting your pictures out here, putting your family pictures out here and all, we all swinging and banging at this point. So it's like we weren't trying to talk 2-3 years ago. And I think 2 or 3 years ago, it was starting to calm down. And the only reason why we're here right now is because of motherfucking
CTV.
No. The only reason why we're here talking about this is because Vincent started some shit.
No, that's because of you, man.
No. Lying and shit because the motherfucker ain't told the whole goddamn story. That's why I came out again, knockout Brian. That's why the fuck I came back out again. And this ain't me getting upset with you. I'm a very passionate person.
Oh, you good, yeah.
Okay, so that's the reason why I fucking came back out swinging and banging, because I'm like, bitch, now I knew you since motherfucking 2016, and you gonna tell the motherfucking truth right here, since you want to have that cigar dick sucking vlogger over there on your motherfucking page. Tell the motherfucking truth, because I just don't like people want to be the victim now, but you was just as involved when all this shit was. So yeah, that's why I just was irritated with this shit, because it's just been so much. So now I got to calm my ass back down again and just go back to ignoring and doing my shit again. And now you got roly poly over here that want to be on something live and shit. Again, I'm going to have to just tap back into my discernment and watch everything. People that try to come on so they can get on the show, so they can try to come on, so they can be around. Because what I'm noticing is people come around when you got attraction, following, and all this other shit like that. I'm gonna tell you like this. People can talk all this shit all day long while they on the screen, but bitch, you ain't gonna never say this shit to my motherfucking face. And that's real. That's not a threat. That's reality. People ain't never seen me butt ass naked. You ain't never seen, you don't know what it's like to fuck. You don't know what it's like to be with me. People say all this other stuff, which they want a response from you. It is what it is. So this is why we were where we were, is because it was so much going on, like it is with that big turkey neck motherfucker over there. Just instigating shit, just like he was doing with Larry, sending whole lies, doctoring up videos to say I said things that I did not say. And so with that going on, it made me look at him a whole nother way, because I was like, now you said one thing and now you doing something else, which stirred up irritation. So me, I get pissed off real easy. I'm working on that. Okay. Praise God.
And I want to insert into that, because I know you had mentioned some things last night, Jives, and I just want to say to the blogger who no amount of clout can actually help at this point, from what
it won't help.
I just want to say this, because it was brought to my attention, because I don't watch her. I definitely don't watch people I had to help, for one. That's for one.
Hello.
But it was brought to my attention that a comment in the spirit of is CTV upset because she think I can take her man or have her man? Referencing Larry. Let me blow myself up because I wanna speak this.
Oh, God.
I want to speak this to every delusional, funky bitch who can only get around.
Motherfucker.
Who can only get around as long as there are wheels connected to their chairs.
With no legs, bitch.
I want to hear
and kneecaps.
Hear me loud and clear, baby. I have accepted that I am the la cream of the la cream on this motherfucker.
Well, you better la cream, bitch.
Which is why everybody who is somebody fuck with this somebody over here, from T.S. Madison to Unhinged with Cardi B's money, to Larry Reid, to King Jives, to Storm and Roll, to Nick at Night. I done got cosigns, I done got co-signatures, I done got co-features, even shout out to Claudia Jordan of TGIF, who we're working currently on a project together on. Okay, I have, thank you. I have accepted, especially when I can have a bitch who also got 1 million robots on YouTube, even make me hot topics, little old me. So I have now accepted that I am she, I am he, I am her, I am them, I am we, I am us. And I am so elated and flabbergasted and well and relaxed and rested into that. Now, what we are going to do is not ever revise history. I have told the bitch who requires wheels on every last single one of his chairs that that's a convenient narrative. You know, that I would be that I would be jealous of what any of you hosts don't have with Larry. Okay? Don't have with Larry. I don't require no other bitch on this motherfucker being able to make claim to being on private flights, on red eyes, on private jets, or anything of the sorts. I don't require, I ain't heard another bitch on this motherfucker talk about being in the company of his children, of his family, and being literally at the goddamn table. Okay, there is not anything that any of you hoes have that I need or desired that could remotely make me feel inferior to any one of you sloppy body ass bitches. Because let's set and keep the record clear. I was cool, right? When I was cool. Because remember, before I ripped the band-aid and exposed you funky fake assholes for who y'all were, we were all sharing Larry, right? And I wasn't a threat then, right? I wasn't jealous then, right? I wasn't envious then, right? When I was helping bitches get to 1,000 subscribers, okay, and being supportive of them while they were also being supportive of Larry, right? Okay, so I wasn't envious then, right? Okay, so the only hoes I fall out with, okay, are the bitches who can't be honest and treat my friends accordingly. So the girl who requires wheels on all one of her chairs to move around, the moment that you decided to try to take advantage of my homeboy, who was grieving the death of a very well-respected church figure, because you can't get over your hyper obsession with King Jives and can never stand the rain and fight your own battles, and therefore try to weaponize him against Jives at a time where him and Jives didn't have any issues, you damn right, bitch, I was gonna be on your motherfucking ass. Okay? And then when you had the unmitigated gall to continue to smile in GWORL, the NC loser's face, okay, you continue to sit on the phone with him and could cackle and kiki with him and shout him out and come into his stream and sit on panels with him while you were sending that boy's personal tea to me, sending me his mug shots, sending me his arrest record, sending me all the shit he done been caught up in, and I put your motherfucking ass on blast, bitch, about what you allowed to be known about you, because these were your behaviors, not mine. These were the things that you allowed to be exposed about you, because these were your choices and your postures, okay? Not mine, bitch, okay? This is what you were doing behind the curtain, girl. So when I exposed you, I really gave you an opportunity, bitch, to come full circle and choose to be a real bitch instead of a half bitch.
He can.
But you remained a bitch. And then when you couldn't stand the rain with me, you went and tried to weaponize another delusional bitch named Donut, and then he caught your bluff and called you out, bitch, and exposed the whole scheme that you tried to utilize him to get at me in exchange for letting him grift off your tired ass 70-year-old ass audience. Girl, make it make sense, as if that was even a deal. And it was just unmitigated gall that after I had done wrap that psycho bitch up in an AliExpress box and shipped her ass out overnight, that you even thought that bitch was even a match, or even thought she could even bring heat to the baddest bitch on the block.
Oh, no.
What's real fascinating, because I really cringed for you, bitch, because here it was, even in the mix and the aftermath of me putting your bullshit on blast, you literally played right into what I had proved about you. Which is that for some reason, as big as you are, you can't be big enough to stand in your own shit.
That's a big bitch.
Who requires wheels on every last single one of her chairs.
That's a big bitch.
So when you figure out what you got, girl, on a platform that you can't even get another nigga with 150,000 subscribers to get you over the 15,000 subscriber mark and the 20,000 subscriber mark, when you actually figure out what you have, that anybody here, girl, because you don't have a cholesterol that anybody wants, you don't have a heart that anybody wants,
because it's
you don't have a blood work or a my chart that anybody would desire, bitch. There is nothing, nowhere, anywhere, on any nook, crevice, girl, wherever the angle is, bitch, there is no desire and nothing to be desired, no matter at which angle we look at you at, bitch. Okay, so you can continue to sit in your delusions, girl, on your irrelevant
But wait, but did you
platform.
say this man had a my chart that nobody wanted? CTV log off.
Bitch.
Log
Clogged
off,
artery. You mean
CTV.
clogged artery. Fat neck, no legs,
You
short
just gonna
arm.
call for that man my chart?
I got lost. I'm looking for the
Nice.
liquor man right now. Where the weed at?
Oh,
I don't
angles.
know.
But you know, here's my thing, and I'm gonna add to that too. For a nigga to sit on a platform and sit up out here and want to talk about somebody's family, bitch, ain't your no? Do I want to do that? Do I really want to come for his family like that? Do I really want to? I do. Since you want to come for people's family, bitch, let's not forget that your mama's not here. So why don't you think about that? Why don't you pray to your mama as an ancestor and hope that your legs grow back or some blood circulation to go down to them legs, knees, and them toes, bitch, for the doctor to have to cut them motherfuckers off. Because you're already rolling around here in a fucking chair. And bitch, before you come for me and mine, bitch, at least I got somebody to fuck. And if they choose to fuck me, bitch, they can do that too. Because I got somebody. And whatever the fuck they look like, bitch, at least I got somebody to go home to at night. Bitch, do you? Because you fucking a motherfucking pillow and a long ass motherfucking dirty ass dildo. So get your motherfucking ass together. And the last time I checked, you monkey ass grease bitch, Jabba the Hutt looking ass bitch, the last time I checked, bitch, you came over here to get where the fuck you at. And when Conscious helped your motherfucking ass out, bitch, you got where the fuck you at right now. So while you want to try to cahoots together all them other motherfucking people to sit out here and come against me and the rest of these hoes over here, bitch, remember who the fuck helped you out. You punk ass bitch. So you can keep graping behind Larry all day long. But just remember, Larry is over here with these hoes over here. Now, I may not fuck with that hoe, but you just remember that. Because at the end of the day, bitch, you got your boots over here, not on your own hoe. Wouldn't nobody know your motherfucking ass if it wasn't for who? King goddamn Jives. That's who the fuck put you on. Now you just remember that and go to sleep at night knowing that you wouldn't be nothing like the bitch that you are right now if it wasn't for folks like us over here. Thank you and good night.
Well, I got shots of Hennessy in the back. Anybody need any tequila?
I need me a shot or two.
Okay,
I
I
need
just
something
want to know because,
strong. I need a
girl.
mezcal. I need a mezcal, girl. You got the tequila. Drop it off.
We
Smooches,
working with indica.
smooches to the professional grifter. Now, this is 2024, and this has been beautiful. And my last question, final roll call is: does everyone here truly, wholeheartedly feel complete? Because if there is anything that we need to do, this would be the time to do it. But if everybody truly feels complete, then we complete.
I'll say on this
if we truly
end,
feel complete.
for me, on this end, I feel like honestly, like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, I kind of just was like, you know what? I don't know. I feel like after getting Fupa fired and realizing what the fuck we was really dealing with, and just
Not you
following
got
the
to
Larry
get
Reid case, and just seeing what a real, true manic we were dealing with, and just honestly just seeing shit for what it really was, and growing the fuck up. For me, I'm good. Like anybody on this panel need anything, I'm here. That's just me. I no ill will towards anybody, no nothing. If anybody got ill will towards me, you're free to speak your piece. I'm not gonna go off, but I can't guarantee I can give you what you need. But I can be grown enough to say that too, right? But I can say for me, I got nothing left for nobody on here. Meaning, like, I have no ill will. Like, I feel like we all really went through fucking hell and back, and everybody could catch some hands type shit from all of us. Because it was a lot of shit. It was a lot. It was a lot coming from every fucking where. And I feel like some of it was displaced anger. Some of it may have just been, it was a lot of fuckery. Some of it was maybe somebody thought this or somebody thought that. I don't know. But for me, I'm chilling. That's just me.
I'm going to come behind Andrea and say this. Before all the bullshit happened, we actually were having fun. I'll say that we were actually having fun. Conscious and I used to do stuff. Andrea, we used to FaceTime all the time too, especially whatever that song me and her daughter used to be. We did a video. We actually had fun. You know, me and my sister, we be on talking every day. We had fun. Like this stuff right here is nonsense. Like we don't be out here trying to put somebody's address out. We don't do that. Because again, like it's not deep like that for us. We do our stories, we do our content. If a motherfucker get wrong, bitch, we'll check you and move the fuck on. That's what it is. Bitch, I've been around this shit for a long time, and I'm not trying to sit up out here and stress the fact that I was the first, last, second, third, alpha, or the omega. At the end of the day, it's about having fun. And because these niggas ain't never had a friend, and probably will never have a friend other than the fucking video that's in front of their face, and they talk to a goddamn robots, mods, people in the fucking chat, bitch, that's all your friends. Bitch, you let these people pump your head up, that's all you got. We actually know people in real life. That's what makes a difference. I don't have to pay nobody to come to the hotel to fuck me or get fucked.
Shout out to Miss Wig and the girl on wheels.
And baby, I ain't never had to pay for sex. I ain't never had to do none of that stuff because I live in reality of life. And because I actually have friends and I actually have a partner, bitch, I can go talk to friends and I can go have romantical time. And bitch, I ain't got to pay for nobody to come to a hotel, turn the lights off, and my ass or dick is up in the air. And bitch, now I'm not out here looking like motherfucking Bumpy Road. That's what I want to say that. And see, everybody on here, Knockout got kids, got a boo now. Andrea got a whole motherfucking family and 2 kids. Mikko got business, children, all kind of shit. Bitch, I got dogs, fish, all kind of stuff going on.
Guess what, Josh? And I'm raising y'all.
Bitch, you ain't raising no motherfucking thing around here. You better get your ass on somewhere. But that's real talk, though. That's real talk.
And I want to add to that. Because me Me and MsMikko, baby, we was rolling in the deep for 2 damn hours before we got up here. But after breaking the culture had brought it full circle, because there's an old saying that the devil is in the details, and I can definitely see how problematic it is to put a comb through every single thing that has ever happened, every syllable, every verse, and I can see how that can just lead to a never-ending resolution when at the end of the day everybody has moved on. We've all, for some reason, been able to divinely still manifest this here, even with the feelings, the perspectives, and the perceptions. And I almost wanted to cry when Breaking was just talking about the shared experience of what we all went through, because I think she spoke it so eloquently that this was something that was really beyond all of our pay grade, and it was so deeply complex and multi-layered, and it was so chaotic and so dense. And I don't think none of us would be fair to have held each other to a perfect standard, because this was too wild and it was too out of order for people who had never had a precedence like this set in their life. And so I think that is worthy of total grace and worthy of mercy and worthy of forgiveness. Truly. So I personally feel at rest officially with this journey with y'all. And I'm well about it.
Me too, CTV. I thank you. Even though we rolled in the deep today, but I just really,
I said rolling in the deep.
I like it, because the real met real, and you had your perspective, and I did too. But I'm glad that tonight it didn't turn out to what we thought it was going to be, because for many years we all tried it, and we were all in our feelings. And to you, Knockout, again, I have no ill will. I never did, and I never made a video. I never said anything public about anything towards you, because I literally, truly had compassion for you. And I looked at you like a son, and I'm not telling no lie. When it comes to you, Andrea, I saw you when it all started. I tried to speak to you, but again, I'm so happy that you admitted it, that we weren't ready to hear each other. And today we are. I just want to thank everybody on this panel, because when everybody is looking at this, they're seeing a situation that was very intense, to the point where we all were ready to do something to each other, because the situation was that serious.
And we could not talk to each other at all. It was
at all. We
Well,
was
and I
ready to
feel
knock
like what
each other
people
off.
also didn't realize,
Baby,
like, I remember at one
a damn
point,
prison melee, honey.
like I remember at one point, Mikko, where you had did a live. Now, don't quote me on how long ago you did this. It was either a live or a pre-recorded. Don't quote me. It was one of the two, but you gonna know what I'm talking about when I talk about it. So you had did a live or a video. Wasn't that long ago. It was like maybe a year, maybe not even a year, maybe 2-3 years ago. But you had did a video, and it was like after you had already separated yourself from just everything. You kind of just went dark, and then you was like doing your own thing, and you had came out. And you had did a video, and you were talking about just like your experience with everything that had happened. And you had mentioned something just along the lines of like, y'all don't really know, what I went through, what I experienced. You don't know the gravity of the situation. You don't know how deep it got offline. Like, we exposed to you guys what we wanted to show you. But at the end of the day, what I went through was real. And when that video honestly was the video that made me look at you and go, you know what? She might just be right. Like, not even kidding. It was my, you know what? She just might be right. Like, what we went through was ugly. And we only expose what we expose, and people see shit online and they edge it on, and they're like, oh, and they're throwing jives here, they're doing this, they're doing that, but they're not realizing what we are actually dealing with offline in everyday real life. And that shit was ugly for all of us.
And that was my literal, like, you know what? It was the way you broke it down in that video. And I was like, damn, she's right. Like, we're all fighting each other. And we don't even know why the fuck we're fighting each other. People are like, well, why are you guys fighting? And we're just throwing out reasons. But in all reality, we don't even know why we're fighting. We're just in fight or flight mode. Because that shit
I think
was
that
ugly.
you and Miss Miko had hit it on the head. It was just because it was
straight
high.
fight or flight.
High intense stress.
And it was intentional. It was intentional with the party was doing. It was intentional. The things that was being mixed and tingled, and the people in the chats and the trolls, the fake accounts, and it was wild. And to literally be in that situation and your heart, like, I know, like, hindsight looking back, I'm not proud of some of the shit I did and said. Like, I can go back and be a grown ass person and be like, yo, like, that wasn't my best moment. And I'm pretty sure all of us could that ass go back and be like, yo, that wasn't my best moment. Or
girl, I was growling. I looked at one of my videos, foam was coming out of my mouth. I said, what the fuck am I, a pit bull? I was mad as hell.
And Miss Miko,
mad as hell.
And Miss Miko said on last night panel, she said, yeah, like, I was out of my mind. And there was a point too where I had got consumed, and I was on my, I just let the devil totally use my mother ass. Like, full possession.
A fucking fool. Do you hear me? Who told me to do that? Who told me to put a mustache on? Like, who told me to do that? Like, I was used by the devil. I'm not.
My motto was, he gonna let the devil use him, and I'm gonna let him use me too.
Yep.
We lost.
You know, and while we thinking about it, to be honest with you, like, it's a lot of things that we have said and done. And, you know, we already did our apology, thank God. But it's like, to some of these people who have just been randoms and they didn't come in and duck the fuck off, that's the shit that pisses me off a lot, because it's like, people come in and they try to, like you said, Conch, they try to grift off of what, you know what I'm saying, what you do, and thinking that they're going to get the same response that you get. But it's like, I worked hard to be here. I've had so many people to tell me, oh, I'm going to take all his stuff. I'm going to take his crown. I'm going to take this. Bitch, you can't take what I work for. I'm different than you. Conscious is different than you. Baby, all these folks is different. You can't come in something thinking that you're going to take their stuff when you don't have the same capacity, the same charisma, the same character as the people that you're trying to take from.
Because
listen, that's the reason why.
Because it's going to take just that.
Hold on. And the thing is, it's,
and that's why I said exactly what I said earlier, Josh. It don't matter who you can obsessively send a link to try to get them into your stream. It don't matter how much clout that person got. It don't matter how big that person is, bitch. You still gotta have it. Honey. And some of these girls, they don't got it, and it's proven, because even with all the clout chasing in the world, a bitch is still struggling for bananas and apples.
Honey, I don't care how much these people try to sit out here and
you still gotta have it.
And y'all sit out here and throw so much stones at people and stuff. It's like, bitch, we've made monuments out here. You still got a bump on the ground with no legs and no feet and no ankles and high cholesterol and diabetes. Bitch, y'all on y'all way out the door about to die, and y'all just getting started. Bitch, we surviving out here at the end of the day. Y'all motherfuckers, y'all came around collecting cash apps, and that's what y'all survived off of. Bitch, I didn't have to do all that. Bitch, we was doing shows before they even had a cash app. Can we get
We was doing shows before there was even a live feature. When everything was pre-uploaded.
Pre-record.
We didn't even have a community wall.
Not one.
We didn't have a community wall. I remember me and DeMario, we wasn't even no live button.
That part. You know, I mean, it's been that goddamn long, and it's just like, but see, that's what made me with that one not even respond for so long, because I honestly, even now, I don't care what the fuck I say. I can call them no legs, no arms, no neck, bitch, bad built body, all this. I can do all that shit like that. But reality is, I don't have nothing for these people. I'm only saying this shit because they talk about me. and I don't give a fuck really. But it's like at the end of the day, like what bothers me the most is you help people and they call themselves, give you something of an ass, because it ain't an ass, bitch, it's a back. You something of an ass to kids. And it's like, bitch, after all this stuff I've done, after all the shows, after all the people I done sent your way, all the money you done made, because let me just be honest with y'all tonight. Like me, Mikko, Conscious, excuse me, Knockout, we was all doing shit, having our own platform, doing our own stuff. It's jealous-hearted people that come in the mix and that want to start shit. That's what it was. I even did shows with Andrea. Her ass still here. She doing her own shit. The motherfucker said she got a Netflix show. It's like, damn, like we really don't have that energy for each other. It was just people that came in the mix with the fuck shit. Yeah. That's all it's ever been. That's all it's ever been. Like, I don't have no hate in my heart towards none of these niggas. I really don't. And to be quite honest with you, and for me to be real frank, I'm saying this shit right now. I ain't got no hate for Larry. I don't like bullshit, but I don't have no hate for him. I just want y'all to understand that. Like, y'all can say, well, Jives, you go. No, I'm being dead ass serious right now. I just don't like stuff. I don't like stuff. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I've been out here a long ass time. I didn't see fuck shit come and go. But I don't like when people do bullshit and try to play like it's ice cream and cake in my face. I don't like that. But it is what it is, right? We learn and we move on. But I mean, like I said, I love all these niggas that's on here. We've been good to each other. You know, we've been good and bad. We've been upset. Me and my sister, we didn't had our fallouts, but bitch, we still here. That's what sisters and brothers do. Me and Conscious, we've been rolling and kicking for since 2016. We done said our shit. We still fucking here. Me and Olive Oil over here, we still rolling. We just start talking to each other. We're still rolling.
I'm so sorry.
But I'm serious.
But think about it.
What Andrea, what was your name for me? Because I know my name was Goku. with
When we look back at this shit, I can't help but to laugh. I'm talking about even with my sister Deborah, and I'm just letting you know that's when YouTube was fun. Knockout. We just did the nines. We wasn't on this.
Yeah, it was that other group that brought in like the dark, like the evilness and the like really trying to come out of the screen and really create tangible injury on people. And that was just like another level of something else. And I do want to say this because I meant what I said. I have grown a lot, and I even went through a bit of a spiritual churning a few months ago, and that lasted for quite a while, where I was going through an ego death. I was going through another level of consciousness, and I was really in the deep of myself. And I came out of that a lot more crispy. And so even though, because I want to say this and make it clear again to all of the viewers, like there's always going to be a difference in the way that us up here look at things and the way that things appear to y'all, because we actually have relationships to each other, whereas in you guys just experience us as y'all's content creators. With Jives, when I was in the interim of getting to know Jives, I did not know how Jives' mouth was set up. That's something I had to get used to. And so throughout the course of our friendship, I have had to, in attempting to get Jives to be more synchronized with his speaking, because sometimes his heart and his mouth don't be together. They be off in two different directions. And so over the course of our friendship, we have had to have conversations. We have even had to come to breakdown, because I've been like, Jives, the way you
that nigga done called me a bitch on live. Okay.
That part, I'm like, the way you sometimes just go into try to explain or speak for things, it just creates so much whatever that everybody want to overhear and be like, are you and Jives cool? Are y'all okay? Because he, and so, but in the course of continuing to lean into the relationship, continuing to just lean into the friendship, I got to a point where I realized I actually just want to make space for the people around me's humanity. And Jives, Jives is just, Jives just he just gonna hit that, he just gonna hit that microphone a certain way. And I have just decided that I know who Jives is, and I'm just not going to be obsessive over his execution of his verbiage, and I'm going to trust that if there is something that needs to be spoken about between us, that needs to be dealt with between us, that he will afford me the opportunity to be able to hear that from him and vice versa. So I have retired that stuff bothering me. So it doesn't matter what it sounds like to anybody when Jives speak. Until Jives comes to me and say, bitch, we got a problem. As far as I'm concerned, we ain't got no motherfucking problem. I don't give a fuck what it sound like on the microphone. I don't care. I don't care what it sound like. I trust him to be able to come to me and bring me the actual issue. Same thing with Larry. When it came to the McWig situation and McWig touting that medical misinformation about me, like a lot of people feel like Larry didn't do enough. I would have had more of an issue had Larry not did anything at all. But Larry did say, hey, that's my friend. That's not true. And McWig did immediately get to cleaning it up and said, all right. And there was a private chewing out as well that the public was not afforded between Larry and McWig. And Larry also, while he was making funeral arrangements for his grandmother, decided to come up on my live and stand beside me to address all of that and pledge his allegiance to me in front of McWig and everybody else to set the record straight who his loyalty ultimately is to. And because I'm making space for Jives humanity, I've also made it a space for Larry. Larry is not the kind of, he's not going to fight like me. He ain't going to fight like Jives and MsMikko. When we standing up, bitch, you going to know we standing the fuck up against something. We don't mix no words. We don't need a knockout. Well, that's actually true for all of us. We need a knockout. And that's what everybody on this panel actually have in common. Like when we go to kick ass, bitch, it's blood on the floor. So, but Larry, he's just not that. And we're talking about somebody who has had his children dragged, had his ex-wife dragged, and Larry hasn't even given that type of energy even to that. So, it's not going to be the exception for me, but he did stand up, and so, yes, do I prefer Larry to draw blood out of a bitch? I do prefer it, but I accept how he handles conflict. And as long as he does what needs to be done in the situation, I can appreciate that. So I'm literally at this point just going out of my way to just make space for everybody's humanity and not look for issues, not look for something to feel a way about, because I just don't have that type of emotional equity anymore to give to everything that could arguably be argued or be felt upon. There's too much going on in the world. Life is just too short. I'm too old. I'm afraid of having a stroke over this shit. So I'm real serious about my mental health these days. I'm real serious about not putting more on myself than what I can bear. I am very intentional at this point about fighting my battles. I literally am going out of my way to only major in the majors and literally minor in the minors. And I am so much happier and I am so much more at peace now that I have been pushed to this sense of clarity and this sense of peace. So I'm good on everybody, regardless of what the public says. If I'm good with Jives, people can say what they want to say. People can be confused about what they want to be confused about in terms of the way Jives talk. Me and Larry are close. We're always going to be close. We practically family at this motherfucking point. that's always going to be the case, no matter what it looks like, etc. And Knockout is my brother. This was an unexpected relationship to me. I don't know how Knockout got into my damn heart. I don't know how that exactly fucking happened.
And
but,
this through an inbox and Instagram.
Huh?
Through an inbox and Instagram.
Let me tell you when let me tell you when I had to really, when this man really just when me and Knockout fell out and we went months without talking, just like when me and Jives was not talking, I was sick to my stomach because I really love Jives and I like Jives and I have advocated for Jives publicly and privately. So when we were at odds, that did not ever sit well with me. And I actually cried in one of the conversations. Matter of fact, you and Larry, MsMikko, was on that line with me, and Jives was on that line, and we were making up, etc. I was so happy that we had an opportunity to really reconcile when Knockout called me personally one night and he wanted to talk, and he was man enough to apologize to me. He was man enough to take responsibility for what he felt he did. I just could not do nothing but put respect on that, because I know how hard it is for men in particular to take accountability and to take ownership, and then to do that to another man at that is very, very humbling. And so now we here, and like a Breaking said, the thing with you, Breaking, I have always been able to say this. When you came out of that camp, you maintained a consistency of accountability for being a part of the bullshit, and you always had the guts to own being a part of that camp, what led to you getting out of that camp, and even today, once again, you choosing to remind people, like, I feel like I owe everybody an apology. The fact that nobody's even pushing you for that, and that's something that's coming out of your humanity, that's coming out of your character, that's coming out of just you without any pressure to that shit. Like, that's the shit that bewilders me, and that's the shit that really impresses me, and that's the shit that just makes me believe that this is always so possible. Like, every time we're able to do this, these people over there on the other side, they're sick because of what happened tonight. They're sick about this panel. They're sick about this shit here because they got people who they still don't have in their camp. Kimberly somewhere exiled to a damn island. Mookie ain't part of the situation. They still got breakdown over there, and yet all of the original players are right here. And I'm gonna say, I hope. It's my hope, but I ain't gonna push it. I'm just gonna leave it on the altar. I do hope.
Don't do it.
I do hope.
No.
Because I know exactly what I'm gonna say.
No.
I know exactly what I'm gonna say. Hold on. I hope, because once again, I'm mature enough to know that I'm mature enough to know that people don't have to agree in order to be well, and people ain't even gotta like each other either. That's way too much of perfection to desire. But I still hope that at some point there can be a sense of okay, even when it comes to Jives and when it comes to Larry, because I understand why Larry fought his battles more privately with Jives. And it's because the sector is so small, and there ain't enough people in the church sector to begin with for this type of drama to be able to wrinkle itself out. So because the sector is so tiny, this drama becomes the focal point rather than the actual content itself. And I just hope that there comes a day where it can just be okay. It ain't got to be friends. It ain't got to be besties. It ain't got to be bros. It ain't got to be sis. It ain't got to be none of that. it could just be okay for the sake of the sector itself and the focus back on the actual content in and of itself, because both you and Larry are greatly valued and appreciated in respects to that niche of church commentary. I just really hope that there can be an okay just for the sake of the content being the focal point and not necessarily each other. That's just my hope. And I'm going to leave y'all to that. But I'm always want the light for everything in manifestation.
Praise God.
Praise God. All right. So let's go. I gotta go. I gotta get the fuck up out of here.
Let me say this. I want to say, because I don't want people to think that I'm not appreciative. I want to just say thank you to everybody who has done anything for me, especially from the Conscious crew. Y'all know I'm still dealing with this court case, even though these raggedy ass motherfuckers won't talk. I want to say I appreciate y'all. Conscious, what you did, nobody else did. And I want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm not talking about anybody on here. I'm talking about people have not done that. I thank God for my folks. I thank God for you all. I thank God for all of these people on here. Because y'all did a whole lot and you did not have to. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the reason why I maintain respect with Conscious is because Conscious has gone out of his way for me, as well as I fight for him. But he has done some things for me, and that is something I really do greatly appreciate. He did not have to say, Jives, I'm going to do this for you, boom, boom, boom. And everybody else, come on through, donate. Because if it wasn't for that, I don't know what I would be doing, because I'm still trying to pay this motherfucker some goddamn money. But I want to just say I appreciate y'all for real. Conscious, I appreciate you. And when this shit is all over with, telling you, we going to go somewhere, a party.
Let's do it.
Somewhere, because I'm telling you, I'm tired. Let's
get on the cruise, honey. Let's put these up. Let's turn these BBLs to the sun, honey, and let the good times roll. Let the motherfucking good times roll. And that's what I'm striving to do through all of this space, is learning how, like, I don't have to agree with my friends. We don't even have to always get along. We can actually oppose each other, and it doesn't have to necessarily default to breakdown. I know that's what we a lot of times used to, and I just hate that we used to that, because it has costed people really meaningful relationships, because we just aborted way too quick out of thinking that we had to agree and always be on the same page. Like, this year was the roughest between me and Larry. Like, the last few months of me and Larry's friendship has literally been so rocky. I'm also so proud that none of that shit had to play out through social media. Nothing had to get here, and we stayed the course. And, you know, things are back aligned how they should. And I'm just impressed about that. And I want that for all of my relationships. I don't have that perfection expectation anymore. Things cannot be well if they're not well. We cannot agree if we don't agree. We can have judgments about each other's actions, thinkings, behaviors, etc. That should not necessarily change the love. It shouldn't change the coven. And that takes a lot of grown willpower, but it's a beautiful thing when it's really accomplished. So I'm trying my best to just stay the course, and I'm trying my best to stay in relationship to people who are trying to stay in relationship to me. But relationship does take a lot of work. I did not know that until I got in my 30s. I think I grew up with a very unrealistic expectation of relationships, that they just supposed to work out because you love each other. No, that shit takes a lot of intentionality. It takes a lot of choosing each other every time, choosing each time. And every relationship, it goes through its a shadow period. It goes through its period where shit just ain't looking right, shit ain't right, shit ain't well, you ain't happy with each other, etc. And being committed to each other, this shows you not to be judgmental of those times. Once y'all give each other a chance to make it through those times and still come out together on the other end. So I'm learning to be in another level of relationship to people. So I just appreciate all of this. I appreciate all of you guys. I'm just so happy that this could happen, Miss Mikko. I am so happy that you came here. I am so happy that you allowed me to prove you wrong. I am like so happy that you really gave, I mean, you really showed the fuck up, and you really gave your heart, and you really gave this a fucking chance. And I just fucking love you for that forever. I just fucking love you for being a fucking woman, and for you leaning into this against whatever your expectations was, whatever your concerns were, whatever your fears were, and you bossed through. And I just love you so much, and I appreciate you. And I want to offer you an apology too. I know you have said I've never done anything to you, but anything that you feel I've done maybe unconsciously, accidentally, intentionally, etc. If there is anything that I said, that I did, that I didn't say, that I didn't do, that, because see, I'm crying now.
You all good. Conscious, I just want to thank you for giving me the platform. You have extended this for many years, and I've always loved you. Even when I had my gripes about things that were going on, I never included you. So I just really thank you for allowing this platform to happen. And I appreciate you. And tonight was a lot of healing for me. I do want to say that. So I'm glad I came on. And I really appreciate Andrea's spiel. It was really, really healing for me. Because as you know, that's where it started. So I think I'm calm. But I'm not calm on the food. You understand what I'm saying? But I am calm. And I just really appreciate you for inviting me. Thank you.
No, I thank you so much, and I love you.
I love you too. You know that. I got your back. Don't worry about it, baby. We rolling. You hear me?
Yeah.
I love you, Conscious.
Right.
I love you, baby. I do. I do. And it's gonna be okay. And we're gonna get through this. I promise you. Yeah. Ooh, you gonna make me. I love you. I love you, baby. And we're gonna get through this. And our thing is really deeper because we were innocent in this and we just love hard. And we came out because we love the people we love and we got involved. So I really, really appreciate you fighting me, standing up to me, letting me know about myself. And everything we talked about today was just so heartwarming. And I just really appreciate you for that.
I can't talk right now.
Me neither, Conscious. I'm going to let you go. I got to go, babe. Okay. You got me crying too. I love you all, to the followers and not the one. I really appreciate you. We go harder than paying for our followers. And I would do anything for my followers. I'd do anything, especially if they get involved. But Conscious, I truly, truly appreciate you. I do. I love you, baby. Oh, God. I love you. It was a lot.
I'm just.
But you got to say goodbye to the followers.
I'm really appreciate, like, I'm really full and I'm really complete right now.
Me too. Me too, and I thank you because if it wasn't for you, I would have never got to this part. So this really healed me a lot, and I thank you for it so much. I do. I love you so much, baby. It's okay. Thank you for fighting me to understand the truth.
Thank you, and I love you, Miss Mikko.
I love you too. All right,
okay, baby.
Bye, baby.
Bye-bye. Y'all gotta go because I'm just gonna like cry eternally. Like, I'm really just proud of this group, and you know, it's not completely complete yet because you know we gotta get Jives and Larry back intact. But you know, for this many people to have came out survivors, it's just really wild, and I'm just really grateful. I can't even talk. Like, to watch my friend have to spend almost $200,000 on a lawsuit to watch these people evaded Jives' mother's privacy, emailing her, and just watching Jives have a sense of powerlessness, watching MsMikko, have her business assaulted, have her reputation smeared, have a grown man threatening to unalive her, having authorities pull up to Andrea's children's school because of a false CPS flag. Watching Knockout Media's parents be doxxed. And all of the force and all of the power that was put into making people miserable and dividing people amongst each other, to have this many people come out survivors and to come out intact and to come out with each other. It's just sheer proof that there indeed is a God. And as it relates to the pussy as wannabe cyber stalker, bitch, I'm forever gonna be your karma. And on that note, I love you all. Thank y'all for y'all prayers. Thank y'all for y'all support. Thank y'all for just being encouraging, because I promise you, every last single one of us make this look easier than what it really has been. So thank y'all. Forever indebted to y'all. We got Diddy news, Trump news, and everything else to get into for the rest of the goddamn week, baby. And since I'm apparently being sued, baby, I will also be the lead media on keeping y'all updated on whipping that hoe ass who listed me as the plaintiff in the lawsuit that he allegedly filed, bitch. All right. All tea, all things, girl. What happened here? I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.